Hello, this is Avijit Mukherjee. I am going to teach you Class 8 Science Microorganisms, final part. Harmful microorganisms. Harmful effects of microorganisms can be divided into following two categories. One is causing diseases in human beings, that's animals and plants. Another is food spoilage. We will discuss each of these in details. Disease causing microorganisms. Microorganisms that cause diseases in human beings, animals, and plants are called pathogens. Pathogens. Let us look at some of these disease causing pathogens in human beings, animals, and plants. In human beings, pathogens can enter the body of a healthy person through air, water, and food. Dirty water and unclean or spoiled food contain many pathogens. When a healthy person consumes unclean water or spoiled food, the pathogens enter the body and cause diseases. Pathogens can also spread from an infected person to a healthy one. For example, when a person suffering from common cold sneezes, pathogens are released into the air. These pathogens may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing, and he or may also get common cold. Pathogens can also spread from an infected person to a healthy one through insects, such as the Anopheles and the Aedes mosquitoes and the housefly. For example, when a female Anopheles mosquito bites a person suffering from malaria, it sucks in the pathogens along with the blood. When the same mosquito bites a healthy person, the pathogens may enter his or her body, and that person may also get infected with malaria. Similarly, when a housefly sits on the garbage, pathogens may stick onto its body. The same fly may transmit these pathogens to food items when it sits on them. When a person eats these food items, the pathogens enters his or her body and cause diseases. Insects such as mosquitoes and the housefly, which transmit pathogens from an infected person to a healthy one, are known as carriers of diseases. Diseases that can spread from one person to another are called communicable diseases. COMMUNICABLE diseases. Some communicable common diseases in human beings, along with their modes of transmission, causative pathogens, and preventive measures, are listed in the table 2.1. You have to study this 2.1. Disease is malaria, and the mode of transmission is the bite of the female Anopheles mosquito. The causative pathogen is a protozoan. The preventive measures is not allowing the mosquito to thrive in the locality using mosquito nets and repellents. Disease is cholera. Mode of transmission is contaminated food and water. Causative pathogen is bacterium. Preventive measures is maintaining proper sanitation practices, boiling water before drinking, avoiding consumption of uncovered food. Disease is typhoid. Mode of transmission is contaminated food. Causative pathogen is bacterium. Preventive measures is maintaining proper sanitation practices, avoiding consumption of uncovered and unclean food. Disease is tuberculosis. Mode of transmission is air. Causative pathogen is bacterium. Prevention measure is vaccination for children. Disease is ringworm. Mode of transmission is direct contact with the infected person. Causative pathogen is fungus. Preventive measures are good hygiene, not sharing personal items such as towels and combs with the infected person. Common cold is a disease which is transmitted by air. The causative pathogen is virus. Preventive measure is washing hands regularly, avoiding close contact with people having common cold. Disease is poliomyelitis. Mode of transmission is air and water. Causative pathogen is virus. The preventive measures could be only vaccine. The disease is chickenpox. Mode of transmission is through air and physical contact with the infected person. Causative pathogen is virus. The preventive measure is only vaccination. In animals, some diseases caused by the pathogens are listed in table 2.2. This also you have to learn. The disease is foot and mouth disease in animals. Affected animal is cattle. The mode of transmission is contact with the diseased animal or through air. Causative pathogen is virus. The disease caused in the animal is Reindeer's pest. The affected animal is also cattle. Mode of transmission is contact with the diseased animals, drinking contaminated water or air. Causative pathogen is virus. Disease of the animal is anthrax. It is a deadly disease. Affected animal is the cattle. Mode of transmission is grazing. Causative pathogen is bacterium. The diseases caused in animal is fin rot. The affected animal is the fish. Mode of transmission is dirty water or injury. Causative pathogen may be bacterium or fungus. In plants, some plant diseases caused by the pathogens are discussed below. Disease is citrus canker. Mode of transmission is air. The causative pathogen is bacterium. The disease is rust of the wheat. Mode of transmission is air. Causative pathogen is fungus. Disease is apple scab. The mode of transmission is air. The causative pathogen is fungus. The disease is loose mart. Mode of transmission in the wheat is air. The causative pathogen is fungus. Microorganisms and food spoilage. Microorganisms such as fungi and bacteria are responsible for the spoilage of various foodstuffs, including bread. The main conditions required for the growth of these microorganisms are a moderately warm temperature, air, and moisture. These microorganisms often produce poisonous substances which make food unfit for consumption. Eating such foodstuffs can cause an illness called food poisoning. Here are a few things that can help us detect food that has become unfit for consumption because of microbial action. One is foul odor. The other is slimy surface or cotton-like growth on the surface of the matter. The other is surface discoloration. The other is sour taste, and another is gas formation. Let us discuss the changes that has been observed in the fungus starts gone on food items. As you can see from the figure, the microbial action on the food items like cotton-like growth, mold on the surface of the bread, and the surface discoloration caused by mold. Let us do the activity. Aim to observe orange mold under a microscope. Materials required will be fresh orange, a bowl with liquid, glass slide with cover slip, forceps, glycerin, and microscope. The method would be first to take a fresh orange in a bowl and cover the bowl with a lid. Next is to place the bowl in a warm place and leave it undisturbed for a week. What you will observe? You will observe a grayish growth of mold on the orange. Carefully pick up a small sample of the mold with the help of the forceps. Put a drop of the glycerin on a clean glass slide. Place the sample on the glycerin drop carefully and put the cover slip. Make sure there are no folds. With the help of your teacher, observe the sample under the microscope. Draw what you have seen. Extension. You could repeat the same procedure with leftover bread slices and observe the structure of bread mold. Record if the structure of bread mold is similar or different from that of the orange mold. Food preservation. Now that we know that food items are prone to spoilage by microorganisms, let us understand the methods by which foods can be preserved for a longer time. Food preservation is the process of treating and handling food with an aim to stop or slow down its spoilage while maintaining its nutritional value, texture, and flavor. Since microorganisms are one of the major causes of food spoilage, food preservation involves creating conditions unfavorable for their growth. Food preservation methods either kill the microbes or prevent their reproduction. Different methods of food preservation are used for different types of food. We must know that food eradication is a technology that involves the use of ionizing radiation to destroy harmful microbes in food. Each year, an estimated 5 lakh metric tons of food is treated using this technique worldwide. Some common methods of food preservation, table 2.3. This is very important for you to study and learn by heart. Method is boiling. How is it preserving food? Boiling the liquid food items can kill any existing microbes. Milk and water are boiled to kill any harmful microbes that may be present in them. Dehydration. Dehydration involves removal of water, one of the key requirements for microbial growth for food items. Food items such as cereals and pulses are generally dried under the sun to remove the moisture present in them. Next is refrigeration and freezing. Refrigerating at low temperatures and freezing help to preserve food for a long time because microbes such as bacteria and fungi cannot thrive at low temperatures. When fresh fruits and vegetables are frozen, water present in them also freezes. This helps in preventing microbial reproduction. Food items that can be preserved by freezing includes meat and vegetables. Next process is canning. Storing food items in airtight cans is an effective way of preserving them. Food items such as jams, vegetables, fish, and even cooked food are canned and sold in markets. Next process is using chemical preservatives. Any substance that helps preserve food or any other item is known as preservative. Many chemicals help control microbial growth and are used as preservatives. Examples of chemical preservatives are sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite. These preservatives are used in squashes, sherbets, and ketchups. Using salt, sugar, oil, or vinegar is a process of preserving environment that prevents microbial growth and are therefore used for preserving foodstuffs such as meat, pickles, jam, jellies, or vegetables. In addition to preserving foodstuffs, these substances also impart flavor to them. Last process is pasteurization, which is very important. Pasteurization involves heating a foodstuff at a high temperature and then cooling it rapidly. This helps in destroying the harmful microbes without changing the composition, flavor, or nutritive value of the foodstuff. This process is named after the French chemist Louis Pasteur, who discovered it in 19th century. Commercially available milk is first heated to a high temperature for about half a minute and then cooled rapidly. It is then stored at temperatures lower than 10 degrees Celsius. That's the end of the chapter 2, Microorganisms. Thank you. Bye. See you in the class.